What's going on, YouTube? This is for coming at you with another video. And before I even get into what's in this box, something I did forget to mention in my review of the Captain America fidget spinner is I'm actually going to show you real quick. This piece actually does come off. I thought it popped off. It was supposed to pop off, but I guess from fidgeting around with it, it actually came loose and started. Keep dropping the cap. It started grinding against the cap, and that's how I figured out. It's riveted. It actually riveted. It's riveted, and then the entire bearing system actually comes out of it. Some small bearing, and like I said in another video, if anyone knows what the actual name of the or model numbers are of these, let me know, and I may look into maybe getting a bearing for one of my other spinners. Maybe a bearing for this one just because of how cool it looks when it spins, but the video is not about that. In this box is what we're about to talk about. It's a plain black block. It's late in the afternoon. Yeah, so bear with me. It's a plain black box. Tongue's not working right now. Don't know why. Nothing really. It's GB S43. I guess that's a model number. Could be for the stuff it comes with. We gonna get into it because it's a plain. It is a plain box. Yep. Go get that box though, real quick. Here we are, and it is a gray butterfly or dinosaur, whichever, or broken horn, if you want to be historic with it. I've been playing with this thing for a while, and there are some things that I don't like, and I do like. One of the biggest things that I found is an issue that I found is well, it's not real pearl, but as you see, the pearl right here is cracked, and that's not. If I do that, you can actually see it stops my finger, so it's not like it's not a scratch. That's an actual crack. This is probably some type of fiberglass or something. Cracked. I actually read some reviews of this on the website. I got it from bladeplay. They got it to me within like maybe, I'm gonna say a week, just a week, maybe a week, because well, no, a couple of days. I'll say a couple of days, because when I first ordered, I ordered it on like a Friday. No, it wasn't a Friday. It was a Saturday. You know, they don't ship on Sunday. It didn't ship Monday for whatever reason. And Tuesday it shipped, and it was in the Riverdale sorting place. After one day of shipping, it was already in Riverdale, getting ready to be put on the truck. The next day, it was on the truck and out for delivery, and got to my house. Oh, excuse me. I got a cold. I'm trying to get over a cold. Trying to get over a cold, so just bear with me. I will be using the site again. The site does carry a lot of different knives and knife brands, both high quality and low and mid range. So they have a wide variety of blades at different prices for those who can afford or just wants to spend more money than they have to. And I read a review on the site, and it was only one guy who bought the knife, and that was back in, like, it said 2015. It's 2017, so it's an entire, like, basically 2-year difference. So excuse me, the difference. So I'm like, yeah, the quality could be much different now compared to what it was back then. The company could have caught wind of this and fixed it. I don't even know what company this is from. I could probably go on the site and find out. If I find out some other stuff about this particular blade, I will come back with another video, as I always do, if there's something other interesting facts about a blade that I think that people should know. But the guy says that after one day of playing with the both of the pearl panels actually fell off, and he says his model had stripped screws in it. And you know, now that I'm thinking about it, that sounds very, very fishy, to be honest with you, because how can the blade have stripped screws if you were playing with it? If the screws were stripped, there was no way it probably would have been holding together. But who knows, whatever happened with that situation. Excuse me. Who knows? It could have been his fault. Could not have been his fault. Who knows? I personally think that I know for sure that the panels are going to fall out, especially seeing that this one's cracked. I actually was playing with this thing all day, and it wasn't cracked when I actually got it out of the box. Not that I noticed, so it might have cracked at some point with me flipping it around. It then may have cracked. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm so sleepy. So that's another negative thing is quality control. As you can see here, you can see the glue is not like it's not actually glued very well. There's glue overlapping out of the panels. Oh yeah, this panel here is not even flush with the rest of the handle. It's actually pushed out a bit. Excuse me. I'm gonna actually see if I can maybe push that in to get it flush. I might just push it out to give it a skeleton. I might just push them out to give them a skeleton. Give this thing a very skeletonized look. I might do that. But, excuse me. Something else I didn't like about it. So heat it up. It's actually old school too. So you just squeeze, the latch drops, and you open it up, and there you go. I didn't do a full flip. Yeah, just wanted to get it open. Excuse me. You look at this here. I'm actually gonna lock it just for purposes video. It is made in China. It's made in China. It does have double tang pins here, which is I don't know. Some people say that's a good sign of quality. And some people say that double tang pins on a butterfly knife don't really matter, because if it's all in the same plate, if it's only the one in the middle, If the butterfly knife has a latch, it doesn't really need a tang pin because it's going to stay closed via the latch. So, oh my god, I went from a cold to an allergy, and it's not good. Anyway, I actually like it. It's very. I'm trying to wipe the dust off the blade. Get that dust off of there. Yeah. I'll have to get the dust, this dirt and stuff. Yeah, and that's another thing I don't like. The knife came in plastic, but the knife was very, the knife is dirty, as you can see. I haven't even been touching the blade at all. At no point today that I ever even put my hand on the blade. I cut a piece of paper with it, that's about it. But other than that, I've not touched this blade at all. Yet, the blade is very dirty. The fact that they sent out a blade that is very dirty is already something that I find to be a bit, well, it's not too much of a dire issue, but it's something that shouldn't happen. A company should never send out any merchandise that looks like it's used already. It's dirty. It looks like someone's been using it before they even packaged it. Did someone open it and play with it and put it back on the thing? And it has what looks like rust in the little blood groove. It looks like rust, or maybe even looks like blood in there. It's not, but it looks like rust or some form of dirt. Like, this knife is very dirty for a knife that's brand new. This is not off of eBay. It's not used. It's brand new, but it looks used. It looks dirty. I mean, it doesn't even look dirty. It is dirty. It's very dirty. I mean, for the price, you can't be too upset for the price, because a lot of places probably would have charged double what they charged for this. Like I said, I'm gonna knock these out. I'm actually trying to push them out a little bit, though, so I'll finish doing that later. But I'm gonna knock the pearl parts out of them. I just don't really see the point of the pearl things. You barely notice them on the blade at all. Excuse me. I'm gonna give it that skeletonized look. So, yeah, as you can see there, it's actually, as you can see, it's actually pretty easy to push the thing out. I'm actually gonna push out. I'm gonna do it on camera. It's actually very easy to push out. But I'll leave it on. Yeah, no. It's actually, there you go. It's actually not hard to push the pearl things. To push the pearls out of the, push the pearl things out. My girlfriend actually said the same thing, that the pearl looks like it's gonna actually fall out. And yeah, it's not, she's right, it's not that hard to even push it out. Like, and this one's broke. I may glue it back together and keep them just in case I ever want to just, like, put it back in there. Because it honestly can just really go back in here. If you line everything all up, I'll probably have to unscrew the whole thing to do it, but I'm probably not gonna put them back in. I'm actually gonna skeletonize the whole thing right now. I'm gonna get a whole skeletonized thing going. This one, yeah, I'm gonna get the whole skeleton look. Look, it actually looks cool because you can, when close, you can actually see the blade in there. So it actually looks pretty cool with the skeletonized look. I only did one handle, but for the price that they charge, I paid what, like I paid like $10 for this thing. Yeah, like it was 20. It was 20. That was a different one I was looking at. I didn't get that one. This one was about 20 something, $20 and some change, basically. Yeah, man. I'm trying to get them pearls. I'm legit trying to get the pearl things out now. Yeah, it was like 20 bucks and some change. Things are nasty and they're gonna fall out anyway, so I'm gonna just take them out. Look at that. They're just, it's not even good glass either. I don't even know what this is. Like, look how easy stuff is breaking. It's so brittle. It's like so brittle. Like, it's so brittle. Yeah, but I know there are a lot of knife snobs that they would have probably been like, yeah, it's a lot better things you can do with 20 bucks. Oh yeah, that's because they're usually knife snobs will say stuff like that because they own $300 and $400 knives, whereas people like myself not gonna do it. Not that I never would. I would eventually, but just like now, it's not particularly a necessity for me. I actually think it looks cool like that because when you look at it, the blade is visible. I actually kind of like skeletonized battle songs. Man. So another thing about the blade before I even get into the sheath, because I'm actually trying to make these videos a little bit longer, some of these reviews. So another thing that I find is it was, well, I don't know if it was bad. I'll put it this way: if you were planning to actually make it as an EDC, maybe a utility for certain things, maybe it would have been an issue. Maybe if you were just gonna use it as a utility knife in the house, maybe it wasn't a big issue. But if you wanted to play around with it or use it for EDC, it was an issue. It had spacers, but the spacers in it were very thick. They were very thick spacers. So with the screws screwed all the way down, it made it too tight to the point where you couldn't flip it, which is basically what battle songs for, flipping. You couldn't flip the knife at all. You were unable to flip the knife. It was, well, if you used two hands, it wasn't that hard to open. But even with the hardest flick, ended up busting my, well, I didn't bust my knuckle open, but I actually cracked my knuckle pretty hard, trying to just power flick it to get it to open, and cracked my knuckle up here in between the tang area. It didn't bruise or anything, but it did whack my knuckle pretty hard. So trying to muscle it, that pretty much what happens. It ends up knocking your knuckle. And then if you unscrew it, which is what I did, the screws end up getting too loose, and coming out, which can be bad because your handle flies off somewhere and you don't know where the screw is. Now you have to go try and find a replacement screw and something like this. Now, people can make an argument that pins are better than screws. I think screws are better than pins, depending on how good the screws are. Because once the pins break, you have to go to a professional, maybe a knife shop. I don't even know who you would actually go to for something like that, because the ones that have the pins in them are like, the pins are actually hammered and all this stuff, making the pins and all that. They're fitted and all that kind of stuff. I don't know who you would go to for that. You would have to go to someone. I don't even know. I'm not gonna even lie and say I do. I don't know who you would go to for that. But something like this, I could probably go to a hardware store and find these type of screws. I would just have to have one of the screws or something, and you know, show it to someone that works in like Home Depot or Lowe's or something. I could probably find them. I could probably find screws like this on eBay probably, but pins, you can't find that because those are, you know, pins. They're basically custom. You might as well say they're custom made for each item. Not even just in knives and a lot of other things that use like rivets and pins and stuff. You can't just like go to a store and get that. So either my advice is either to forego the spacers altogether, which is what I did. I took the spacers out altogether, and as you can see, the blade actually flips. It actually flips open wonderfully. It actually flips open very wonderfully. Well, it flips open very wonderful, and looks great. Actually, it's a great looking blade. Like I said, the spacers were way too thick. But then again, it's $20 Balisong. What do you expect? This is the one of the cheapest knives I've bought lately. I've been trying to dabble into buying some pricier knives, but you know, it's pretty cheap. That flip knife was about 25 or 26. Not too expensive, but the quality on it was really good. It had an actual access lock, which is pretty good, all things considered. Moving on to the sheath. I actually clipped this on to my shorts. I actually clipped it onto my shorts, and the sheath held tight. I didn't have any problems with it at all. I didn't have no issues with the sheath. It didn't give me any issue, any trouble coming off of it. It didn't like fall off. It was just amazing, and it was amazing and looked good. It was amazing and it looked really, really good. It really does look good when you put it on, and it's really low profile because of the way it's made. You can put it on a belt, which is what it's made for, but it's also bendy, and it's not too bendy. It's got a lot of force to it, so it takes a bit of force to actually open this. So once it's clipped to clothing, it's kind of hard to come off. I even tried to clip it to like my boxers, got the same effect. So I'm pretty sure if you clip it to your jeans or whatever, or joggers even, I had on basketball shorts, and I clipped them to basketball shorts, and it held solid, no issue. So I'm pretty sure that if you clip this to any other type of pants, you're probably gonna get the same effect. And it's pretty good. It doesn't hold in that cool. I mean, since it sits sideways, it's not that bad. It can sit sideways. Most people, but it does have this issue. It falls. It can airdrop right out. Well, not that time. It'll fall right out with no issue. But it sits sideways, and most people aren't just or you know, rocking back and forth where this would just dip out. But most of why this is doing that is because of this right here. Let me show you. It's not actually all the way closed. Excuse me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm probably going to put some screws through. Here, or maybe some super glue and glue it, because if it holds down tighter, I feel like it's, well, maybe not. Maybe not. But I don't know. I'm gonna try to see if I get it to be tighter, will it be harder for this to come out? Because there's really nothing in here keeping it locked in. I think that's an issue. And yeah, because you can actually see that if I I think I get it now. Oh, I guess there's a certain way you have to put it in there. I just noticed it. The tracks. It actually has tracks in it, so you have to put them in and make sure it clips. Oh, you have to make sure it clips in between you have to make sure it actually clips. Okay, it makes sense. All right, cool. You actually have to make sure it clips in between the two teeth there, and then it won't come out as easy. Okay, cool. I think they should have made double-sided pins, or either made the sheath smaller. I might try to do that. I might unscrew it and maybe glue a piece down, because as you see, with it in there, you have quite a bit of. I know you can't really see into it. You can see past it, but it's quite a bit of space underneath that. I think they should have made it either, double-sided or something, and they actually easily come off of the track. But yeah, once you get the hang of it, you're probably not gonna have that issue. You're not gonna have that issue. I'm gonna compare it to my other butterfly, which is my CSGO butterfly. Everyone, I just uploaded this video. I actually just uploaded the video of the butterfly here. This beautiful thing. My girlfriend loves the way this butterfly looks because it's purple and purplish pink, and she loves the purple and pink. So yeah, strong. First thing you'll notice right off the back, the size. All right, at least the size. Okay. Right here, you're looking at a 9.5, almost 10-inch balisong. Right here, you're looking at about an 8 in I forgot what it was. I think it's like 8 1/4 inch. So it's pretty good. This is a smaller compared to this one, and I think this is more of the actual average size for a balisong. I'm not quite sure. I've seen a video of balisongs over in the Philippines, and some guy actually had a balisong that was like really big. It was like a good 2 feet long. And he said balisongs are actually illegal over there, which is kind of funny. There's a lot of history with balisongs. Opening them both up. Okay. I want to talk about the latches. To be honest, I think this cheap one actually has a better latch. To be honest, no spring, so there's nothing to wear out. The spring on this actually wore out already. I tried to fix it with a pin spring, but it doesn't quite work. It works well enough to keep it from jingling, but it does not work well enough to make the spring function work, as you can see. But it's not that big of an issue to me. It's not that big of an issue. It keeps it holding solid, because if the spring wasn't in here, it would actually not hold this closed either. So it keeps it closed, and when it's open, it still keeps it out of the way. But other than that, it doesn't spring. Excuse me. Now, before I do anything, You can't see it, but there's space. This does have spacers. Yeah, spacers, but the spacers are really thin pieces of plastic. Which is why it does not interfere with this blade swinging. Whereas this one did, because the spacers were thick. I'm gonna show you. This was about how thick the spacers were that came with this balance on here. The spacers with that was about that thick. That's pretty thick considering such a small area. And the spacers that came with that are in the CSGO balance on is about this thick. Spacers don't need to be that thick. It's just to it's just to keep friction from happening. I'm not really worried about the friction with this one. It's not even that much friction, to be honest, because it's without the spacers. It's a bit of space through there, and plus I don't have an actual screwdriver, so I wasn't able to really re-screw the screws down as tight as they should be. But it's fine. Well, I'll fix that when I fix that. Excuse me. As far as blade, this is closer to a traditional sort of style battle songs, which were made for self-defense, which is actually why in some countries, in a lot of states and countries have a lot of misconceptions about battle songs due to the history of them being self-defense knives. That's what battle songs were. They're fighting knives. They're self-defense knives. They were not put on the shelf and look pretty knives. They weren't, I'm gonna carry this just to say I have it. They were an actual defense knife, like, oh, you've wronged me, you're going to get it type of knife. And people, same thing with switchblade. Misconception due to old crap. You know, they say you can't, people won't leave old crap alone. Gets a bad reputation due to stuff that happened way before our time. Switchblades were a big issue in many U.S. states and also in many other countries. Switchblades were an issue in many other countries before, so they're illegal in a lot of places, including here. Also with battle songs in many countries and states, battle songs are considered gravity knives for the reason there's nothing. It has like a made-in sheath. There's nothing to keep this from opening but that latch. Once that latch is gone, it drops right down with gravity. And they consider it a gravity knife, which in many places is illegal. In Illinois, battle songs are not illegal unless they exceed 10 inches, as that is with any knife, as long as it does not exceed 10 inches. But in Chicago, you're really not supposed to carry anything over 2 or 3, I think. You're really not supposed to carry anything over 2 or 3 in Chicago. Just in Chicago. But according to the state, you can carry anything that's 10 inches and under. You may be able to get away with 10 and a half. But, so yeah. I love battle songs. I actually like battle songs. I've loved them for a while, man. They're pretty cool to mess around with. You just got to be careful when you're playing around with the a sharp one, or get a trainer. My mom actually tells me that all the time. Stop playing with them before I cut myself or something. Well, you don't learn unless you try. But I'm gonna get out of here. I've been running the video for a while. I'm gonna try and get some other stuff. They got the new 12 Jordans coming out. I want them. I may or may not be able to get them. If I get them, y'all will definitely know, because they will definitely be on this channel. If I'm able to get them. If I'm not able to get them, I'm sorry, but hopefully I'll be able to get them. I actually have a test for college I have to take for certification, and I have to pay for the test, so I might see what I can do. If not, hopefully I'll be able to get them next month. I'll be late on it, but I'm starting to get some pretty okay fan base going on, and I actually am happy that I'm actually getting a few more people that are watching my channel versus when I first started. So that's a plus. But anyway, I'm out of here. To my loyal fans, be safe out there, and to everybody else in the world, be safe. Peace.